simplify our radicals like we did yesterday, but now they're variables, so it's a little bit different, okay? So your coefficient, that's your big number. That's just like what we did yesterday, where you box and you circle when you break it down to the prime factorization. All right, your exponents, to undo them in a radical, you're going to divide them by 2, okay? Because this right here is a square root, okay? So it's like it's a little 2 right here. And basically, to undo it, you're basically undoing the power rule, which is multiplication. So when you undo the power rule, you are going to divide, okay? So you're undoing power, which means you're going to divide. All right, so number 1 is pretty straightforward because we don't have any coefficients. So we can just go in here and divide all these exponents by 2. When I divide by 2, it comes out of the radical, and I just get x to the 3rd, y to the 5th, and z to the 2nd, okay? And number 2, same thing. All we have to do is divide by a 2 because we're undoing a squared, okay? And this can become a to the 2nd, b to the 6th, c to the 3rd, all right? Same thing on 3, we're going to divide by 2, so that's going to become x to the 5th. All right, but here's what's weird. If I divide 13 by 2, that's 6.5. I cannot have a fraction as a decimal as an exponent. So we're going to recreate this y to the 13th. We're going to go down to the next lowest even number. So the next lowest even number will be y to the 12th and make that y to the 1st. Well, now y to the 12th, I can divide that by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so y to the 6th is going to come on the outside. And this 1, I cannot divide it by 2, so that's got to stay on the inside of my square root. Okay? So if I can't divide it by 2, it's going to stay on the inside. All right, number 4, I got to start by breaking down my coefficient, 36. So I might know off the top of my head that the square root of 36 is 6. Okay? Then I can divide this 2 by 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then I've got y to the 3rd. Well, that's odd. So I'm going to split it into the next lowest even, which would be the 2nd, and y to the 1st. Well, when I do 2 divided by 2, I get y to the 1st. I can't divide that one by 2, so it's going to stay inside. Now, if you did not know off the top of your head that the square root of 36 was 6, you could come over here and break it into 2 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 3. Here's my pair. Here's my pair. When I multiply my pairs together, that's where that 6 is coming from. Okay? All right, number 5, we've got 384x to the 4th, y to the 3rd. Okay? I do not know off the top of my head what 384, what the square root of that is. So I know that it is an even number. So I'm going to break it into 2, and I got to do 384 divided by 2, which is 192. Still don't know what that is off the top of my head, but I know it's even, so I can divide it by 2. That's 2 and 96. Okay, I can keep dividing by 2, so 2 and 48. Okay, 2 and 24. Let's go, sure, 2 and 12, 3 and 4, and 2 and 2. All right, so there's a lot going on, but I'm still going to come in here. I'm going to circle my pairs. Got a pair of 2's there. Got a pair of 2's there. Got a pair of 2's there. Okay, I circled all my pairs. I'm going to box what did not break down, which is this 2 and this 3. If it's boxed, it stays on the inside, so 2 times 3, that gives me 6. And then 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. If it's circled, it goes on the outside. All right, now we're going to come deal with these exponents. Well, I can divide 4 by 2, so I get x squared. But I cannot divide 3 by 2, so I'm going to make that y to the 2nd and y to the 1st. I can divide that by 2, which is just going to be a y to the 1st. And this guy's got to stay on the inside because he did not break down. All right, 6, I got to break down 72, which I know is going to be 2 and 36. And that's going to go give me 6 and 6, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. All right, I'm going to circle my pairs. I've got a pair of 2's and a pair of 3's. Okay, and then the only guy that did not break down is this 2. So if he didn't break down, he's going to stay on the inside. And if he paired up, I'm going to multiply 2 times 3 is 6. They're going to come on the outside. All right, now I got to deal with this x squared. I can divide that 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is 1. So I got 6x root 2. All right, number 7, I got to break down this 8. I'm going to do 2 and 4. I knew that was going to happen. And then I'm going to do 2 and 2. I'm going to circle my pairs. Okay, this 2 did not break down, so he's going to stay on the inside. This 2 got paired up, so he's going to come on the outside. Okay, q to the second, I can divide that by 2, so it's just going to be p. It's just going to be a p. Q to the third, I got to make that q to the second and q to the first. This one I can divide by 2, so that's going to be q to the first. This guy's got to stay on the inside. And this is just an r by itself. Well, I can't divide 1 by 2 in this case, so it's just going to be r on the inside. So this is 2p to the, just p, sorry, 2p q square root of 2qr. All right, because we've run out of so much space, just for the sake of this, we're going to skip 8 and 9 and just do 10, 11, and 12. All right, I've got to break down my 48. I know it's even, so I'm going to do 2 and 24. I'm going to do 2 and 12, 3 and 4, 2 and 2. Circle your pairs. We're going to box what did not break down, which would be this 3. Okay. My pair is going to come to the outside. 2 times 2 is 4. Root 3's got to stay on the inside. I got to divide this x to the third. I've got x to the third. Okay, that's an odd number, so I'm going to make it x to the second and x to the first. This guy I can divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. This guy's got to stay on the inside because he didn't break down. And then y to the 10th, I can divide that by 2, and I'm going to get y to the 5th. All right, 11, I'm going to see all the things that I can divide by 2. Well, this is an odd number, so I'm going to make it r to the 14th, r to the 1st. 9 is an odd number, so I'm going to make it 9 to the 8th, or sorry, not 9, that's q. q to the 8th, q to the 1st. Z to the 24, he can stay because he's even. Now I got to come in here and all my even numbers, I'm going to bring them out and divide them by 2. So r to the 7th, he can come out. Q to the 4th, he can come out. And z to the 12th, he can come out. I got rid of all of those, the evens. So that means RQ has to stay on the inside. All right, last one, number 12. 25, I'm going to break that into 5 and 5. That doesn't break down anymore, so that's my pair. So 5 is going to come on the outside. Okay, I'm going to come look at here. X to the 10th, that's even, so I can divide it by 2. That's going to become x to the 5th. Z to the 11th, I'm going to make that z to the 10th and z to the 1st. So now I can divide that 10 by 2. I'm going to have z to the 5th. And then that 8's even, so that's going to be p to the 4th. So I got to think about what got left on the inside. Well, the only thing that got left on the inside is that z to the 1st. But one other thing I have to be careful of was this 6 that's hanging out right here. That 6 has got to come down and go on the outside of this entire expression. So now I'm going to do 6 times 5, which is 30, x to the 5th, z to the 5th, p to the 4th, square root of z.